game, we have the Bloomfield Cardinals versus the Lady Hatchets. Now, Jacob, going into the game, who do you think is going to come out on top?
Obviously, the Washington Hatchets, as I see, Bloomfield Cardinals have not been that good. Even though they are 4-0 in conference play, I still think that the Hatchets should be able to take this one.
Yes, that's a very good point. I think the Hatchets will, if they can come out strong tonight, they'll do a great they'll do a great job. Now, looking at stats, Bloomfield is 14-4. They have lost to Lincoln. That's one of their biggest games I saw. They lost to Lincoln 49-48. Now, Washington 13-4 beat Lincoln 45-37. Now, looking at the score, Jacob, does that change your mind about anything going into this game?
No, not really. I still have my mindset that Washington should beat Bloomfield because, I mean, they did have a common opponent in Lincoln, and Washington was able to win, and I think that's really what's gonna be the determining factor here is that Washington was able to beat them, Bloomfield was not. But one thing that's really surprising me, well, I guess it's because Bloomfield has not as good as conference as Washington, is that Bloomfield is 5-0 in conference play, and Washington is only 3-2. And I think that that's going to be a big factor here is that, Bloomfield comes from a smaller conference, an easier conference. I think that if Washington was in it, they could really surely dominate, and they would have a much better record than they have right now. Bloomfield does have some good players, but I really think that Washington should be able to pull this one out as Jenna Johnson. The last game that we hosted was Princeton game, and that was with Jackie Young, and she just took over that game, and Washington Hatchet's leading scorer, Jenna Johnson, was only held to 4 points in that game. So I think the main thing for Bloomfield is to play really good and tight defense, which I don't think that they're normally known for. But if they do that, I think that's the key to the game. If they do play good defense, then they should definitely be able to take this game on a road. Take this game on the road and win it, most definitely. For the Hatchets, my thing for them to do is keep pushing the offensive tempo. Washington Hatchet ladies like to run. They are up and down the court constantly. They're the coaches. They get a lot of transition points. Bloomfield coaches are definitely going to be talking about guarding the transition ball, most definitely. I think if Jen Johnson gets going, this game is pretty much in Washington's hands. But if they do play good defense and they stick on her and give her a hard time, then Bloomfield has a really, really good chance of winning this game. Another person I'm looking to do really good is Sarah Lewis. She's she's the starting center for Washington. She is a sophomore, and she is good. She is 6'2", and is the tallest player on the court actually for Washington, for both teams actually, as Bloomfield Cardinals only have one starter that is 5'10", which is not that tall compared to 6'2". So if she gets boards, she gets the transition going, Washington had this in the bag. But all the Bloomfield needs to do is stop Jenna Johnson and stop the transition game, and they will have a good chance.
Yeah, you made some great points there. And looking at Bloomfield versus Washington Heights, we're pretty much the same, except for Sarah Lewis. We're not the biggest team on the court, but, that could be the deciding factor. But height isn't always the reason you win games, because if you take it back to Washington's previous game, which was versus Gibson Southern Titans, they had 2 6'6" guys, and going into the game, I was a little timid because I thought they were just going to dominate because, usually you can do that if you have such height.
Yeah.
But, we shut them down. We just got a bunch of steals and put the game away. So like you were saying earlier also, that one of Bloomfield's key elements to winning this game is to shut Jenna Johnson down. That was a perfect point in my opinion, because if you watch the Princeton game, if you went to it, Princeton focused on not only getting the ball to Jackie Young and making sure she was unguarded, leaving the entire team open, but they also shut Jenna Johnson down and only held her to 4 points. And that was really big to why they had such a big lead and held only Washington to 29 points, and our highest scorer was 10 points. So if they can shut down Jenna Johnson, that'll be how they win. But I think Washington will be ready for Bloomington, and Washington just needs to make sure that Jenna's getting open and getting the ball into her hands, because she does such a good job with it. She can shoot from range and she can drive in. So if that's what Washington needs to focus on.
Speaking of that Princeton game, the leading scorer for Washington was Sarah Lewis, the leading scorer and rebounder, and that's why I said that I think that if she and Jenna both get out to a good start, they will be in good hands. This Washington team, who I'd like to see step up is Caitlin Davis. She's a capable basketball player. She's really good. If she gets on the boards, gets in transition, she's really dangerous in cutting situations. When she cuts to the basket, she cuts hard, and she makes it difficult for players to guard her. And if she gets into that rhythm, it's hard to stop her, especially as the Bloomfield Cardinals are coached by Ron Knepp. The assistant coach is Gary Weir and Sierra Barbeck. The Washington Lady Hatchets are coached by Gretchen Miles and Bill O'Brien. The starting players for the Hatchets, starting at guard is Izzy Wagner, starting at shooting guard Jenna Johnson, small forward is Carrie Lane, power forward Caitlin Davis, and center Sarah Lewis. And for the Bloomfield Cardinals, starting at point guard is Shelby Payton, shooting guard Felicity Graff, small forward Marisha McInnington, and power forward Kaylee Moody, and at center Melina Toon. If Washington just gets out and runs with the ball, they're super hard to stop, and that is my main thing. That is what I will be looking for them to do here in this game.
So I always like to do a little preview of the game. So Jacob, who do you think before the game even starts is going to be the MVP for you in this game?
Honestly, because I don't think that Bloomfield is going to be able to stop Jenna Johnson, obviously Jenna Johnson, because in all the other games, really, except the Princeton game, she has been dominant, played the game to heart, always gotten buckets, always gotten rebounds, transition points, and she just took it over. But I think the Princeton game, it was Jackie Young's game. And this game, I feel that Jenna Johnson has it, and she should definitely dominate. As we are about 3 minutes, 30 seconds away from tip-off. Who do you think?
I also, it's going to be hard to say, but just for a guess, it's either going to be Carrie Lane or Jenna Johnson. I picked Carrie mostly because she's been injured, and, being injured and watching the game, it just makes you want to come out even better, seeing everyone play, and you just want to play to your best because you never know when you're going to get injured. But the same with Jenna Johnson. She was held to 4 points at the Princeton game, and that would just aggravate me as a player, being held to so low, because Princeton was pretty rough with Kiara Young, Jackie Young's sister. She was a pretty rough player, but she played fair. But being held to 4 points, that would aggravate me as a player. And then the next game, they lost against Gibson Southern by 10 points, 51-41. So being held to 4 points and then losing a game after that would just make me so mad as a player and just want to take the next game and just dominate it and make up for not being able to do what you want in the previous games.
Definitely, definitely. I see where you're coming from. Carrie Lane is a really, really good player when she gets going. She's really hard to stop. She has the range to step out, hit the three. She has the capability to drive in and score on players. She's a lot like really a lot like Jenna Johnson in her abilities. And I think I would also look for her to be a really good player tonight and really get open looks and get to the rim and get some buckets, most definitely. Who do you think the sixth man of the game will be?
The starting lineup, as you said, was Caitlin Davis, Carrie Lane, Sarah Lewis, and Jenna Johnson. So I would in Izzy Wagner. Looking at the sixth man, that's kind of hard to say. I've never seen Elizabeth Stallman play before, so I can't speak on her behalf because I think she was injured for quite a while. But I'd probably have to say Mackenzie Norton, probably for her work effort. She played soccer, so she's used to running a lot, and all Washington teams are usually well-conditioned. So I would think Mackenzie Norton is probably going to be the sixth man.
Yes. As a lot of our basketball team actually is a part of the soccer team, yes, I would agree with you there that she should do very, very well. To recap the girls' basketball season, the last game that they played was against Gibson Southern, and they unfortunately lost that game. No, they lost by 6 points. 10 points, and before that was Princeton as they lost by a matter of 24.
All right, we're going to go to a 2-minute break on the WHSH radio. Oh, actually, no, never mind. We're not. We're going into the starting lineup. My apologies. I thought they were going right into the national anthem. So, the starting lineup for the Bloomfield, Jacob is going to take it.
Starting at point guard is number 12, Shelby Payton. Starting at shooting guard is number 22, Felicity Graff. Starting at small forward is number 23, Marisha McInnan. And starting at power forward is number 10, Kylie Moody. Starting at center is Malia Toon. And for your Washington Hatchets starting lineup,
starting one guard, number 30, Carrie Lane.
Carrie Lane, number 30. Starting at
the other guard, number 34, Jenna Johnson.
Shooting guard, Jenna Johnson, number 34. Starting at small forward,
Starting at forward for the Lady Hatchets, number 10, Izzy
Wagner. And starting
number 21,
at
Caitlin Davis.
starting at power forward, Caitlin Davis, and starting at center would be Sarah Lewis.
Coached by Gretchen Miles.
And their head coach is Gretchen Miles, as we are ready for tip-off here at the Hatchet House.
And now we're going to go to a 2-minute break for the national anthem on the WHSH radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats. Salute our flag, our national anthem.
here at WHSH Radio ready for the tip-off of the Washington Lady Hatchets versus the Bloomfield Cardinals.
Ready, cut. Call fouls by the right. Dismiss.
And now the color guard is leaving the floor after the national anthem, and we are getting ready here at the on the WHSH radio for a tip-off here at the Hatchet House as the Washington Hatchets, Lady Hatchets, are going against the Bloomfield Cardinals. Now, are you a bit surprised, Jacob, that there's a small crowd here at the Hatchet House?
Honestly, yeah. Usually a little bit more Washington people come out to see their Lady Hatchets play, but I guess not.
This might even be due to the weather. We're supposed to get some, we have a possibility for snow in Washington, so that might be a factor.
And the tip-off is ready, as it is Caitlin Davis who tips it up, but it goes to the Bloomfield Cardinals as Felicity Graff has the ball, and she passes it to Mariska Incogn, and it is stolen by Jenna Johnson. She dribbles it down the floor, passes it to Caitlin Davis. Caitlin Davis is looking and passes it to Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson inside to Sarah Lewis. Sarah Lewis with a strong move and gets the ball to roll. As Felicity Graff has the ball, and she is looking and she is dribbling. As Jenna Johnson is playing really tight defense, she passes it to Kylie Moody. Kylie Moody looking inside and passes it out to Felicity. Felicity looking and gets the ball stolen by Izzy Wagner. Izzy Wagner takes the ball and gives it to Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson dribbles it up the court. She is looking and she is being guarded, and she passes it to Carrie Lane. Carrie Lane inside to Caitlin Davis, and the ball is stolen by Felicity Graff. Felicity with the ball, looks wide open shot and misses as they get the rebound, and it is Shelby Patton that is fouled, and it is a pass-in from out of bounds as Felicity Graff is passing it in.
Now,
Felicity's looking, she passes it to Marisha. Marisha is looking, she passes it to Felicity. Felicity over to Kylie Moody. Moody looking and passes it, and she puts a shot up and gets fouled, and it is a two-shot foul. She will go to the free throw line.
Now, Washington, in my opinion, needs to pick up the tempo of the play. They're looking a bit slow out here.
They really are.
And now the first free throw is up, and it is good. It is 2-1. We have 6 minutes and 23 seconds left in this quarter. And the second shot is up, and it is good.
As Izzy Wagner takes it out from out of bounds, passes it in to Jenna Johnson, and Jenna Johnson is looking, and she passes it to Izzy Wagner. Izzy Wagner looking, dribbles it, passes it to Carrie Lane, but it is stolen, and the ball is thrown up the court to Marisha. Marisha passes it to Melina Toon. Melina Toon over to Kylie Moody, and she drives in and scores the bucket. The ball back down quickly to Jenna Johnson, as she is looking, hovering around the three-point line, as she is guarded by Marisha. Jenna passes it to Caitlin. Caitlin back to Jenna. Jenna to Caitlin, and back to Jenna, as Jenna is looking for an open hole. She passes it to Caitlin Davis. Caitlin over to Izzy. Izzy to Jenna. Jenna with the three. Misses as Caitlin gets the rebound. Puts it back up, but it is too hard as Izzy Wagner falls on floor to get the rebound, and it is a jump ball as the arrow stays with the Hatchets. And Carrie Lane takes it out of bounds and passes it into Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson with a wide open three, and she misses it as Shelby Payton gets the rebound. Shelby with the ball as it is stolen by Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson brings it back down the court looking and passes it to Sarah Lewis. Sarah Lewis gets tied up and gets the ball taken away by Felicity Graff. Felicity looking, passes it to Kylie Moody. Kylie Moody looking, drives in and passes it, tries to pass it across court, but Jenna Johnson steals it. Jenna Johnson is going. It will be a blocking foul, and Washington will take it out of bounds.
Now, as I said earlier, Washington is looking a bit slow, but not Jenna Johnson. She's playing pretty quickly up at the Hatchet House. Now, she's been getting up and down the court, getting those steals. You know, they haven't put really any points in yet. She's missed a couple threes, which, you know, just getting adjusted to the play.
Mackenzie Norton is subbed in for Izzy Wagner, and the ball is stolen as soon as it is passed. Excuse me, it is stolen as soon as it is passed, and it is tied up as the arrow points to Bloomfield now. As Felicity Graff takes it up the court, she is looking and she passes it to Marisha, and Marisha passes it back as she passes it to Shelby Payton. Shelby Payton takes it in, looks, drives, but it is thrown out of bounds as it is Washington Hatchet's ball here with 4:30 left to go in the first period.
Now it's an inbounds pass. Washington coming up the court with the ball.
Mackenzie Norton has the ball. She is looking, passes it to Carrie Lane. Carrie Lane almost has the ball taken away. Over to Sarah Lewis. Sarah Lewis to Caitlin Davis. Caitlin to Mackenzie. Mackenzie to Jenna. Too little bit of a late pass. If she had it, she would be wide open inside to Sarah Lewis as it is blocked. Sarah Lewis tries to pass it outside to Jenna Johnson. Over to Mackenzie Norton. Mackenzie Norton with a three, and it is good. It will be a chance for a 4-point play as Mackenzie Norton made the three.
And it looks like after this play, Washington might pick up the speed. You know, that's all that it takes is just one simple play, and that could get your team going.
That is true. As Mackenzie Norton, the last game that we held against Princeton, went 1 for 6 for three-pointers, as the whole team actually went 2 for 11, as Kylie Moody has the ball, brings it up the court, passes it to Felicity Graff. Felicity has the ball, passes it to Emily Butcher. Emily Butcher passes it to Felicity Graff inside to Kylie Moody, outside to Felicity Graff as she is looking, and she is double teamed by Washington, and she passes it inside to Kylie Moody. Kylie Moody outside to Felicity, over to Marisha, inside as it is blocked. It is inside to Emily Butcher, outside to Felicity. Felicity inside to Kylie Moody as the shot is no good. Washington gets the ball. Jenna Johnson has the ball and is pushing it up the court. Passes it to Caitlin. Caitlin with the lay-in, and it is good as Washington leads 7-4 here with 3:09 to go.
That was a great play by Jenna Johnson. She found the open man, and they got the 2 points.
Felicity Graff has the ball, passes it, and it is out of bounds on Jenna Johnson as it stays with Bloomfield, as Marisha will look to inbound the ball. Felicity Graff has the ball, passes it to Marisha. Marisha has the ball, passes it to Emily Butcher. Emily Butcher over to Malia Toon, and the ball is stolen by Jenna Johnson. She pushes up the court, drives, and gets the bucket to go as Washington leads as another bucket goes down 9-4 here with 2:30 left to go as the ball is in to Emily Butcher, and she is fouled on the shot, and she will shoot 2 at the free throw line.
From up here, that didn't really look like a foul to me. She got a nice hand on the ball and kept it from going in, but I guess the ref calls what he sees.
As she shoots the first and misses it. She has one more. Carrie Lane is coming. Izzy Wagner is coming back into the game for Sarah Lewis. She lines up and makes the second one as Washington still leads 9-5 here with 2:20 left to go. Jen Johnson has the ball, and she passes it to Sarah Lewis. Sarah Lewis has the ball as she is looking, and she is double teamed. She passes it to Carrie Lane. Carrie Lane has the ball, passes it to Jenna Johnson outside to Caitlin Davis, over to Carrie Lane, over to Jenna Johnson with a wide open three, and it is in and out as Caitlin almost got a hand on it, but Felicity got a hand on it. Felicity over to Kylie Moody. Kylie Moody drives inside with a floater, and it is no good. Mackenzie Norton has the rebound, dribbling it up court. Jenna Johnson has the ball. She is guarded by Felicity Graff as she has it, and she drives baseline inside to Sarah Lewis. It was a nice little dump off, driving that into the court baseline as the Hatchets lead 11-5 as Callie Moody has the ball. She's looking. She passes it inside to Emily Butcher. Out to Marisha, and she does not have the ball as Malia Toon gets a nice save, but it is taken away by Jenna Johnson. She pushes up the court to Caitlin Davis. Caitlin Davis pivoting and gets the bucket to go. It is 13-5 with 13-5 as Hatchets lead here with 56.7 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And Solomon, the Hatchets have really been pushing the ball as we guessed that they would. Do you think that that's been a real factor in their lead?
Yeah, and also another key factor is definitely the defensive pressure. They've been getting a ton of steals. It was surprising how many steals they've gotten on so early, but the lack of scoring kind of has me worried. It's only 13-5 with 56 seconds left in the first quarter. Usually the Hatchets have put up quite a bit more points than that, but they're just getting used to the game. And another factor I think for that is the crowd. There's barely anyone here. There's a small cheer block, and I think that's really what will get them pumped up if some more people come.
True, as Shelby Payton has the ball and she passes it to, the ball is stolen by Jim John. She drills it down the court, but it is stolen back by Shelby Payton as Shelby Payton has the ball and she passes it to Emily Butcher. Emily Butcher outside and passes it inside to Malia Toon. Malia Toon pump fakes and passes it out to Emily Butcher. Emily Butcher over to Shelby Payton. Shelby Payton to Emily Butcher. Out to Megan Bond as Megan has the ball, passes it to Shelby Payton. Shelby over to Marisha as she passes it to Shelby Payton. It is Shelby Payton with the shot, and it is no good as Sarah Lewis gets the rebound, and that is the end of this quarter. Stick around, we will have more. We will be here for the second period here on WHSH as we will take a 30-second break.
Number 10, Kylie Moody.
I'll bring us back on. And we're back live at the Hatchet House. The Lady Hatchets, 13. Bloomfield Cardinals, 5. We're just now getting into the second period with 8 minutes on the clock. The teams have not taken to the court yet. So, Jacob, do you think if the game keeps going the way it is, do you think a comeback is in the light for Bloomfield?
If Bloomfield really starts playing D, I think that they would have a good chance. But from the looks of it so far, and that's what I'm judging it by, they haven't been that good on defense. They've turned it over countless times. They have allowed fast break points, 6 from what I've counted, 6 fast break points, which is really not good as Washington inbounds the ball to Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson, Sarah Lewis over to Mackenzie Norton. Mackenzie looking inside to Sarah Lewis, and she backs up, drives, and it is a miss. But Carrie Lane gets the rebound, and Izzy Wagner gets the rebound, and she is fouled on the shot as she will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Washington just needs to definitely pick up the play from now on, because that could be a deciding factor in the second half.
Very much true, as Izzy Wagner makes the first free throw. Izzy Wagner looking, eyes, and shoots and makes the second free throw as Washington leads 15-5. As, Felicity Graff has the ball. She passes it to Shelby Payton. Shelby Payton to Felicity. Out to Megan Bond. Megan to Felicity. Inside to Emily Butcher. Out to Felicity. Over to Shelby Payton into Kylie Moody, and she misses the shot as Izzy Wagner gets the rebound. Passes it to Jenna Johnson. She looks over to Mackenzie Norton inside to Caitlin Davis. Caitlin Davis looking, passes it to Jenna Johnson. Eyes up to 3, and it is not going to go down, but Mackenzie Norton gets the rebound inside to Sarah Lewis as she goes inside, eyes up the mid-range jumper, and knocks it down as the Hatchets in the lead 17-5.
All right, now the Hatchets, I think they've gotten in their game, and they're just going to pick up the play from here. But the atmosphere at the Hatchet House is definitely very different from what I'm used to. Usually there's it's a high-intensity game no matter who we're playing. There's usually a pretty big crowd, but, I'm not seeing that here, and that looks like it's really that could be taking a toll on the Hatchets, not seeing your community coming out to support you. Or it could be that, Washington is playing down to Bloomfield's level, so it's harder to do what you want, and it seems like you're just playing slow, like your feet are in jello or something, and it makes it harder to play the game.
Yes, it does, as Felicity Graff has the ball, and she passes it to Shelby Payton. Shelby Payton over to Kylie Moody. Kylie Moody out to Megan Bond. Megan to Felicity. Felicity out to Kylie. Back to Felicity. Felicity looking, passes it to Megan Bond. Megan Bond looking over to Felicity. Out to Shelby Payton, inside to Bond, inside to Megan Bond, and she misses it as Jenna Johnson gets the rebound and pushes it up the court to Izzy Wagner. Izzy Wagner pushing, shoots, and misses, and Kylie Moody gets the rebound. Kylie Moody outside to Shelby Payton. Shelby Payton over to Felicity, back to Payton as Felicity has the ball, and she looks Shelby Payton, and Shelby Payton makes the 3-point as Washington leads 17-8. Jenna Johnson has the ball. She passes it to Mackenzie. Mackenzie has the ball, and she's looking, passes it to Caitlin Davis. Caitlin Davis looking, passes it to Jenna Johnson inside to Sarah Lewis. And it is a blocking foul on the floor from Bloomfield as Washington will take it out of bounds.
It looked like Bloomfield completely missed the ball with that blocking. Might have hit Sarah in the nose or maybe even the neck. It was kind of hard to see. She kind of held her face for a second, but luckily nothing too serious.
As the ball is stolen by Felicity, and she pushes it down the court, drives, puts up a wild shot, and is missed. But Malia Toon gets the rebound, and she is fouled on the shot, and she will go through the line and shoot 2.
It is now 20-8. Washington has definitely got their groove.
Yes, they have.
This also could be considering the fact that Bloomfield has been very, very unlucky with their shooting. It looks like they've barely made anything. I think they've hit 1 3, but Washington still has yet to hit a 3 themselves.
That is very much true. She makes 2 of 2 from her 3-pointers as Washington still leads 17-10 here with 5:23 left to go in the second period. It is inside to Caitlin Davis. She drives, misses, gets on rebound, but it is stolen away, and it is a foul, pushing foul on the Hatchets as it is going the other way.
It looks like they're actually calling the foul on Sarah Lewis, but it looked like Izzy pushed her from down here, or up here, excuse me, but, you know.
It is a sub for Sarah Lewis as she goes to the bench and takes a break, and Izzy Wagner comes back in. Felicity Graff has the ball, and it is knocked out of bounds as Bloomfield retains possession.
And now the score is actually now 17-10. They drew back 3 points from the Hatchets. I'm not exactly sure why, but that now puts Bloomfield in a 7-point game from Washington.
As Mila Toon has the ball, and she gets it stolen. Jenna Johnson over to Mackenzie Norton as it is a travel by Washington as Bloomfield will get possession.
It's looking really slow from up here now. This is definitely a game that Washington should be dominating.
Yes, it is. Marisha misses the 3-point, but it is rebounded by Malia Toon, and she is fouled. Excuse me, it is rebounded by Kylie Moody, and she is fouled trying to go up for the putback, and she will shoot 2.
Washington's got to be careful. Right now they have an inability to score, so it's remaining pretty low, and constantly fouling a team, letting them creep up with a possibility of 2 points each free throw shot, or 1 point each free throw shot. That's dangerous, because if you can't score and you keep fouling, the team could be on you before you even know it.
Yes, that is very much true.
And Bloomfield sank that second shot, but not the first one, so now it is 17-11 here at the Hatchet House.
Carrie Lane has the ball, passes to Mackenzie Norm. Mackenzie Norm with the 3-pointer, and it is no good as Malia Toon gets the rebound. Malia Toon pushes it up to Kylie Moody, and it is out of bounds. She did not have a full handle on that ball when she was dribbling up the court. It is Washington's ball, and Carrie Lane will take it out of bounds, and she passes it to Mackenzie Norton. Mackenzie Norton with the basketball. She is guarded by Felicity Graff. Mackenzie Norton to Jenna Johnson, and Jenna Johnson has the ball. She is looking, she passes it to Carrie Lane. Carrie Lane takes it inside, puts up the jumper, and it is no good. And Malia Toon will get the rebound and will push it up the court to Shelby Payton. Shelby Payton inside looking for Kylie Moody, but it is stolen. Jenna John pushed it up the court, passes it to Carrie Lane. It is stolen by Felicity Graff, and it is out of bounds. Washington ball as Izzy Wagner Carrie Lane made a good play on the ball to get the ball back. Jenna Johnson dribbles it up the court, and she is looking as she is guarded by Shelby Payton. She passes it to Emily Butcher. Carrie Lane inside to Kaylin Davis, and she makes it, and it is stolen off the inbound pass by Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson over to Kaylin Davis. Kaylin Davis to Mackenzie Norton. Mackenzie inside to Jenna. She is dribbling inside, and she puts up a shot. And there is no foul called as Kylie Moody has the ball. She pushes it up the court, passes it off, but gets it back and makes the jumper. Washington still leads 19-13 here with 2:15 left to go in the second quarter.
It's definitely becoming a dangerous game. Only 6-point lead.
Jenna Johnson has the ball, passes over to Mackenzie Norton. Mackenzie out to Carrie. Carrie looking, tries to pass to Mackenzie. Wasn't good communication, and Mackenzie ran away from that pass. And it is Bloomfield ball.
Now it is still currently 19-13. Both teams lacking the ability to score right now.
Felicity Graff has the ball, dribbling up the court, and it is stolen by Caitlin Davis. Caitlin Davis passes it to Jen Johnson. Jen Johnson is pushing it up the court, and she's looking past to Carrie Lane. Carrie Lane inside to Izzy Wagner. Izzy Wagner goes up with a shot and misses, but it will be a shot. It will be a foul on the shot, and she will shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Now Washington's coach is talking to Carrie Lane. Not really sure what she's telling her, but probably just to keep trying, keep putting up shots. They'll go in eventually. And now Izzy Wagner puts in her first free throw to make the score 20 for the Washington Hatchets, 13 for the Bloomfield Cardinals. She's preparing for her second shot.
Misses it, and Emily Butcher will get the rebound and pass it to Felicity Graff as she has the ball and is dribbling it up the court. Passes it to Mariska. Mariska passes it, is looking and passes it to Felicity. Felicity out to Shelby Payton. Shelby Payton over to Mariska. Mariska out to Shelby Payton. Shelby Payton looking. She's guarded by Carrie Lane. As Shelby Payton drives in, passes it out to Felicity. Felicity over to Megan Bond. Megan Bond out to Felicity. Felicity over to Shelby Payton. Shelby looking, and she passes it to Megan Bond as Megan Bond is fouled. It will be a blocking foul. That is It is the 16th foul
for the Washington Hatchets, and Carrie Lane's first personal foul.
Felicity passes it in, and she passes it to Marisha and gets it back, but passes it back to her with a wide open 3 and shoots it and makes it. Jenna Johnson with the ball as we have 22 seconds left to go. Carrie Lane with the ball now, passes it to Mackenzie Norton. Mackenzie Norton looking and being guarded by Felicity. Looks, passes it to Jenna Johnson, but it is stolen. Jump ball, and the arrow is in favor of Bloomfield.
It is now 20-16. Dangerously close game because Bloomfield has sank 2 3-pointers. That's twice as many as the Washington Hatchets, as they have 0. So just letting them shoot is very dangerous, and constantly fouling them is giving them 1 or 2 points, easy points, and it's just really taking a toll on the score. As it is only 20-16, which is very uncommon for the Lady Hatchets, as I'm used to scoring 20 points in just a quarter, but to score 20 points in 2 quarters, that is very unlike the Washington Hatchets.
As they have been held to 20 points, as Bloomfield has done a decent job with that, but I mean, they are just missing open looks that they are getting. And I will definitely be looking for Washington to come out in the second half and dominate. Stick around for more here on WHSH. We will take a 2-minute break, and we will be back for your halftime report here on WHSH.
on the WHSH radio. I'm Solomon Davis, and I'm here with Jacob Black. And we are broadcasting the Washington Lady Hatchets versus the Bloomfield Cardinals. Now, we have 7 minutes and 15 seconds until the second quarter is over, and we turn to the third quarter. It is currently 20 Washington Hatchets with 20, Bloomfield with 16. Now, Jacob, I know you went to a lot of the girls' games. Is this surprising that they have such a low score?
No, usually in high school games, players aren't developed enough or they aren't as good as a lot of players. But, it doesn't really surprise me that it's this low scoring. Really, because, unless you have extreme talent, like Jackie Young, that type of extreme talent. Jenna Johnson is talent, but, it isn't to the point where I think that she could score 30 points a game type of talent. But she can definitely score, that is for sure. As I would definitely look forward to her getting going in the second half for a good second half for her, as the leading scorer for Washington is Caitlin Davis with 6 points. The leading rebounder is also Caitlin Davis with 3 rebounds. And I think that who really did good was Mackenzie Norton and Caitlin Davis, but really Mackenzie Norton, because she came off the bench for Izzy Wagner and dropped in 2 3-pointers. A 3-pointer and a 2-pointer. And really, I think she's been good holding her spot down, most definitely, and competing. And Bloomfield has made it a hard game for the Hatchets, as they have defended well, but they've turned the ball over on offense so many times. They actually have 7 turnovers, and the Hatchets have only converted 6 points off those turnovers, which is not good. The Hatchets definitely need to get the turnover ratio for points up. They definitely need to score more points off their turnovers if Bloomfield keeps turning it over like this. And for Bloomfield, stop turning it over, because if they didn't turn it over so much, they would convert those points most definitely, and they would have the lead right now if they wouldn't have turned it over. For the Hatchets, my cue for them for the second half is just keep pushing the ball and keep defending well, because if they keep doing that, it will definitely work out, because I don't see them doing very well with the shooting anyway. So if they do good on defense, they definitely can pull out this game. But Bloomfield has a chance to come back into the game now.
Oh, definitely.
Washington is shooting terribly. They actually are shooting below 30% from the field. But that is not that bad for this game, actually, as Washington shooting 39%. Washington shooting 29%, and the Bloomfield Cardinals are actually shooting 25%. So not bad for the game right now, but definitely something that both teams could work on.
And, for Bloomfield, it's 4 points away, and Washington has been fouling them quite a bit, which is kind of surprising, kind of not, because I think that's really one of the key components onto why Bloomfield is so close, is because Washington just keeps fouling them, giving them a couple points on those free throws, and then next thing you know, they hit a 3 and it's ball game. Now Washington really just needs to step it up. It's a 4-point game, and you don't want to lose this game when you should be dominating right now.
Yes, I agree with you, as we have 2 minutes and about 35 seconds until the start of the second half here, as both teams have come back onto the court and started shooting around. Who do you think your second half performer is looking at the first half?
It's kind of hard to say. As you said, Mackenzie Norman did a great job. She came right off the bench, hit that three, got that free throw. Unfortunately, missed it, but she still hit that three. As Washington has been lacking in that area, but she's been doing really good. But I think Jenna Johnson's just gonna hit her stride during this quarter or this half and just put in some more points because she has a low scoring game. I think she might have like 4 points, which she was held to that against Princeton, who's undoubtedly probably the best team in the state, and she's held to 4 points against them. And that's surprising, being held to such a low amount against Bloomfield, which I have not heard really anything about. So if she steps it up, she's definitely going to be my player for the second half.
Yes, most definitely.
And Washington also in the second half, they just need to pick up the tempo. Just focus on the court. Don't look so much to the crowd. I know they're lacking in the crowd, and that is really surprising, as I said earlier. But just keep your eyes on the court. Just play the game. Who cares about the crowd? Just play it for your team. You want to win this game. Just if you come out and dominate, it'll make it easy. You can be subbed off and watch the rest of the game. As they clearly they need to do that. They just need to come out to the second half and dominate. And sometimes a lot of teams will have a bad first half in sports. I know for the longest time, my travel soccer team, our coaches would always say that we would always need to warm up for extra period of time because our first half was always so bad, and we could never fix it for some reason, no matter how long we warmed up. But then finally, it was either this year or the year before that, we just hit our stride, and we just came out ready and prepared and to get things done. Because if you get something done in the first half, it's just easier in the second half on your team to do stuff. You don't really have to worry so much about the team. You put them away. Just makes it really easy on your team, and you can get the squad in rotation. You can get a breather for once instead of having to be so close like we are right now, since it's 2016. See, now Washington has to be on their toes, and they've just really got to be ready, and they've got to bring it in the second half. And the quarter is now started as the teams are on the court. It is 20 Washington to 16. Now Washington with the inbounds pass. Jenna Johnson slowing down the play, testing the Bloomfield defense. She passes it to Iggy Wagler, just holding the ball. Now Caitlin Davis with the ball. She drives in. She pulls up for the shot and is good. It is now 22 to 16 with 7 minutes and 35 seconds left in this quarter. Now Bloomfield with the ball, passing up the court, testing Washington's defense. They're getting double teamed now, just passing it over Washington's head. Reminds me a bit of the Gibson Southern game. And now they drive in the court, pass the ball in, they put the points up, and now it is a 22 to 18 game. Now Jenna Johnson with the ball, passes the ball to Iggy Wasner. And now Caitlin Davis with the ball, passes into Carrie Lane, who tries to put the shot up, but she is fouled very quickly. So now she's going to go to the line for her first pair of free throws on the night. So now they have the chance to make this game 24 to 18 if she sinks both of her free throws. It is currently 22 to 18. Her first free throw is up and it is no good. Now Washington waiting on the second shot,
as it is Carrie Lane with the free throw.
And her shot is good. It is 23 to 18. Bloomfield with the inbounds pass. Number 22, Felicity Graff with the ball, testing Jenna Johnson. She passes the ball in, holding it outside the three-point line. They pass it back in. Ooh, and as they try to dribble, it is bounced off of Carrie Lane's foot. It is now Bloomfield's inbounds pass. Washington just needs to pick up the scoring and they'll be fine. Now Bloomfield with the inbounds pass is blocked by Jenna Johnson, but Bloomfield retains possession of the ball. And they pass to Felicity Graff. Throws it outside to the three-point line. They're just holding on to it. Washington's defense has been pretty tough right now. They've definitely stepped up their game. Now Felicity Graff with the ball again. Passes it to Melatoon, holding on to the ball. A bit outside the three-point line. Back to Marissa McIntosh, to Felicity Graff, to the outside three-point line. Now Melissa with the shot is no good. It circles in and goes out. Jenna Johnson with the rebound as she dribbles up the court, testing their defense. Very good ball handler. She gives it to Carrie Lane. And really nowhere to pass. Oh, she gives it to Caitlin Davis. Fake shot. Keeps the ball. Back to Carrie Lane. Driving it outside. Into Caitlin Davis, who cannot hold on to the ball. And it goes right into Kylie Moody's hands. Now Felicity Graff with the pass from Kylie Moody. Driving it up the court to Shelby Patton. Back to Melatoon, who drives in, testing Caitlin Davis. And her offensive ability was good, and she secures the 2 points. It is now a 3-point game here at the Hatchet House. Jenna Johnson with the ball. She's looking for someone to play. Passes it to Carrie Lane. To Sarah Lewis, who was not ready for the pass because she thought it was going to Caitlin Davis, who was right beside her. So she poked a hand out there, and it bounced off and went out of bounds. So now Bloomfield's ball. Marissa McIntosh with the pass to Felicity Graff. Now Jenna Johnson trying to play some defense. And it is bounced off of Caitlin Davis' foot. So it is now inbounds pass for Bloomfield. Back. The inbounds pass is to Felicity Graff, taking it a bit wide. Now the ball to number 12, Shelby Patton, who puts it in the paint for Kylie Moody, who throws up the shot, no good. Rebounded again by Kylie Moody. She's being tested by Washington. Now, Marissa McIntosh passes to number 30, Emily Butcher, who retains possession of the ball and puts up 2 points. It is now 23-22. Jenna Johnson with the ball, walking up the court. She's now on Bloomfield's side. She's holding on to the ball, looking to pass. Carrie Lane open. She drives in. Gives it to Sarah Lewis, but it is stolen by number 30, Emily Butcher, given to Felicity Graff. So now they're driving up the court. Ball to Kylie Moody. Ball to Shelby Patton, who gives it back to Felicity Graff, who shoots, and it looked like an air ball, but it actually hit the rim. Rebounded by Carrie Lane. Passes the ball to Jenna Johnson. Tries to give that ball to Caitlin Davis, but it is stripped from her. Now Felicity Graff has the ball to Kylie Moody. Inbounds to Emily Butcher, who gets it stolen by Izzy Wagler. Now Jenna Johnson with the ball from the pass from Izzy Wagler. She passes it back to Izzy Wagler. Tight defense from Bloomfield. And now Washington has made another mistake. Caitlin Davis tried to go for the ball, but it hits off Sarah Lewis and goes out of bounds. So Washington just needs to watch the mistakes because it is 23-22 in the third quarter. They've got to be careful. Now it's an inbounds pass for Bloomfield. Felicity Graff with the ball. Guarded by Jenna Johnson. Now Emily Butcher holding on to the ball, looking for someone to pass. Gives it to Felicity Graff. They're just being tightly guarded. They can't really do anything. And now the ball is with Emily Butcher again. Inbounds pass to Kylie Moody. It is stolen by Izzy Wagler, who cannot hold on to the ball. And it looks like Emily Butcher got the ball, but it was a jump ball. And now it is Bloomfield's ball. Number 23, Marissa McIntosh, is taking the inbounds pass. She gives it to Emily Butcher, who gives it to Kylie Moody, but it is stolen by Izzy Wagler, and it looks like over the back from Kylie Moody on Izzy Wagler, so is now their inbounds pass. Now, Jacob, this has been pretty low scoring. You think this is going to affect the fourth quarter?
Definitely, with the score being 23-22 with 2:50 left to go in the third. And really letting Bloomfield stay in the game is what Washington has done. It will definitely affect the fourth. What Washington needs to do is step up their game, play better, and just knock Bloomfield out of the park. Make the score unreachable.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And now Washington, as they drove up the court, they passed around the three-point arc. And now Sarah Lewis gave the ball to Mackenzie Norton. She tries to put up the two-pointer, but is no good. But she is fouled, and now it is a Washington inbounds pass, and it was a foul on number 30, Emily Butcher, as she is being substituted as Megan Bond comes in the game. Now Washington inbound pass. Caitlin Davis with the ball. She passes it to Sarah Lewis, to Mackenzie Norton on the three-point arc. Back to Caitlin Davis, back to Jenna Johnson, who runs in, puts in 2 points as the layup is good, 25-22. Now 3-point game with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the quarter. Mila Toon with the ball. And now Marissa McIntosh took the shot after a good pass from Toon, but it is no good. Rebounded by Jenna Johnson, who takes it up the court, tries to put in the shot. She is fouled, and she will now go to the line. And it's her third personal foul. Jenna Johnson ready for the free throw, and her first shot is good. It's now 26-22 here at the Hatchet House with Washington in the lead. And now it looks like Maylee Toon is coming out of the game as she is substituted. And Jenna Johnson's second shot is good. It is now 27-22. Inbounds pass. Shelby Patton gives the ball to Felicity Graff. Back to Patton. All the way across the court to Marissa McIntosh. Back to Patton. And it looks like the substituted number 32, Megan Bond, tried to hold on to the ball, but it was stripped by Jenna Johnson, and they call a foul. So it is now Washington inbounds pass from Caitlin Davis to Jenna Johnson, who really has been a key factor in the third quarter. I believe she has put up every point for Washington so far. Now, Caitlin Davis with the ball, and it looks like a timeout for Washington. That's a very, very good idea for Washington, as they've only put in 4 points in 6 minutes, which is very, very strange for Washington. And even stranger is Bloomfield hasn't even scored a point yet in this quarter, as they are remaining at 22 points, which is, I don't know Bloomfield very well, but for a basketball team, that's pretty surprising not to score a single point in a quarter. Wow. See, that is very dangerous. Now you're letting your opposing team get even farther with the lead. It is now 27-22 with a minute and 27 seconds left in the third quarter. So, Jacob, now that you've seen Washington put up a few points, do you think they're going to be able to win it?
I honestly still don't know. Bloomfield definitely has a decent chance to come back into the game, as they have shown that they can hit threes and drive and score on Washington. So Bloomfield still has a good chance to come back and actually make this a game and win it. But I would look for Washington to keep pushing it and keep the lead out of Bloomfield's reach.
And now from the inbounds pass from Caitlin Davis to Izzy Wagler. She gives the ball to Jenna Johnson out on the three-point arc towards their own coaches. She's holding on to the ball, and it's hit off by Felicity Graff. Goes back on their side of the court, and Jenna Johnson lets it go out of bounds. So it is now an inbounds pass from Mackenzie Norton, who gives it to Jenna Johnson, who's now slowing things down as we're less than 55 seconds left in this third quarter. Now Mackenzie with a ball to Izzy Wagler. And now it is stolen, And Marissa McIntosh puts up the shot, and it is good. It is now a 3-point game, 27-24. Jenna Johnson got the pass from Izzy Wagler. Now passes to Sarah Lewis. Caitlin Davis in the paint, out to Mackenzie Norton, who pulls up for the three and is in and out. Sarah Lewis with the rebound from the three. That was no good, and now she will go up to the line. It's 27-24 in the third quarter with 23.6 seconds left in the quarter. Now Sarah Lewis at the line. Her first shot is up, and it is no good. It was a bit to the left of us. Usually Sarah's she has a pretty high percentage for her free throws, but that really threw me off. Now her second shot is up, and it's also no good. Rebounded by Izzy Wagler to Jenna Johnson, who drives in to Sarah Lewis, who scores 2 points. She definitely got her free throws back. 29-24 as Felicity Graff drives up the court to Kaylee Moody. And now Shelby Patton with the ball. 3 seconds left in the game. And now the three-pointer is up, and it is good as Marissa McIntosh sinks a last-second shot to really keep Bloomfield within reach of Washington. I don't think, as a Washington coach, I would be very happy for letting Bloomfield sink a shot, especially a three-pointer. That was really a critical shot.
That is very true, as they are only down by 3 points now. I would be very upset if you let them come back into the game and really actually make it competitive, as I think they should have won a while ago.
Yeah, definitely. They should have just put this team away as soon as they could, because if you let a team hang on, this is what happens. This, I remember very vividly, this is what happened to us against Pike Central, our sectional final game. We let them hang on in the first quarter. Boom. 5 minutes left in the quarter, or the half. They score a last-second shot on us practically. So it is now 1-0. Pike Central is beating us, but luckily we got our heads back in the game, and we won that game to get our first sectional title in 4 years, and we went on to win regional title and lose in semi-state. So it is now an inbounds pass from Marissa McIntosh to Felicity Graff. She is now guarded by Caitlin Davis. Back to Marissa McIntosh to Kaylee Moody, who tries to drive in. Ball stripped by Jenna Johnson, who runs up the court. Nice ball to Caitlin Davis as she puts up a layup, and it is good. It is now 31-26. Washington just needs to keep this up, as they will put the lead out of Bloomfield's reach. Now Kaylee Moody with the ball. She drives in, and the shot is no good, luckily for Washington. Sarah Lewis with the rebound to Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson drives up the court to Carrie Lane, who's yet to score. Now ball to Izzy Wagler. And it looks like after holding the ball and pivoting for quite a while, they're calling a timeout, Washington is. And from up here, their coach does not look very happy. It looks like Washington really can't get anything that they want done. Bloomfield has really just held the game pretty closely. And they're just hanging on. 5 or 6 points is how much the lead has been for Washington, as it is currently 31, Washington in the lead, Bloomfield with 26, with 7 minutes and 9 seconds in the game. So, Jacob, do you think a comeback is in store for Bloomfield?
If they do keep on pushing the ball and definitely keep on competing, I definitely think so. I definitely think that Bloomfield could come back and actually make this a competition. But if not, Washington definitely needs to keep pushing the ball and really get this game out of reach for Bloomfield, because they should have put Bloomfield away a while ago.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And now Marissa McIntosh with the pass to Felicity Graff, as they are outside of Washington's three-point line, and is stolen by Sarah Lewis, but it is again stolen by substitute Megan Bond, and that was really quick transition. Washington stole it. Boom. Bloomfield steals it again. It is now first personal foul on Caitlin Davis. It is Washington's 11th team foul. And now Bloomfield sinks their first free throw. The game is now 31-27, a 5-point game. 4-point, excuse me. My math was a little bit off. I haven't been in school for a couple hours. And now their second shot is up, and it is good. It's Kylie Moody, excuse me. Her second shot is good. It is now 31-28, a 3-point game. Carrie Lane with the ball. She tries to drive in. She's double teamed. She gives the ball to Sarah Lewis, but it is no good. It is hit off Bloomfield players' hands.
And they are only down by 3 now.
That's very dangerous, very, very dangerous, especially as time is dwindling down. Now, Shelby Patton with the ball, pass to Marisha McIntosh, to Kylie Moody, to Felicity Graff. She's driving to Emily Butcher, who came back in the game after fouling. I believe it was her second or third. And now Kylie Moody practically hands Caitlin Davis the ball. And now Washington gets a steal from Caitlin Davis. Jenna Johnson with the ball. She's being double teamed, and she was pushed towards the out of bounds line, but she keeps it in, and she splits the players going in between them. And she is fouled by Marissa McIntosh, her first personal. Now Caitlin Davis with the inbounds pass to Carrie Lane. There's 5 minutes and 38 seconds left in this quarter.
Yes, Washington needs to play some defense hard and get some offense going, because the way this is looking, Bloomfield is really getting back into the game, and you do not want that to happen, especially not in your home court. And
yeah, and especially against Bloomfield, a team you should be destroying. And now Jenna Johnson tried to shoot the three. Izzy Wagler got the rebound, puts a shot up, no good. And it looks like, wow. Oh, now Felicity Graff pushed Jenna Johnson to the ground, it looks like. And a Bloomfield player, Emily Butcher, runs and hit her in the head as she was trying to get up. That looked pretty cheap from up here. And I was very surprised that the ref did not call that. And now Jenna Johnson fumbles with the ball as it is stolen, hit off onto Washington's side of the court. And Carrie Lane dives for the ball and keeps in possession. So it is now Washington's inbounds pass. And Emily Butcher comes back into the game. Wow, that was very cheap by Bloomfield. I can't believe they did that and got away with it. Wow. Now Caitlin Davis with the ball. She pivots past a player. Gives the ball to Sarah Lewis. Holds onto the ball as it looks like Felicity Graff is getting a bit vicious. That could be dangerous for Washington. We definitely don't want one of our players getting hurt. And now Felicity Graff with the ball from the inbounds pass. Gives it off to Emily Butcher. Felicity Graff with the ball. She's trying to drive to the three-point line. Double team, but she gives the ball to Emily Butcher, who puts up the shot. It is no good. And it looks like the shot hit the basket support. So now it is a Washington's ball. That call looked a bit controversial. I didn't actually see that myself. But now Jenna Johnson with the ball. And now she's looking for open player. Sarah Lewis barely holds onto the ball after Jenna Johnson passes to her. Now Carrie Lane gets the ball back to Sarah Lewis, and she tries to pass it to Caitlin Davis, but she barely keeps it in. Oh, and it looks like one of the Bloomfield players shoved her into the bleachers. Again, no foul called.
Yeah.
And now it looks like a Washington timeout. And it might be one of their last timeouts, as they've called quite a bit of timeouts, Now this is such a dangerously close game. It is 33 to 28 and we are broadcasting live at the Hatchet House with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It is dangerously close. Washington just needs to step it up. If this could be bad, who knows? The last couple of seconds, they could get a three-pointer, then they get the steal, and then they get another three-pointer. Boom, that's game over. You can't do anything about that. You can't change the way you played because the game is now over. So Washington just needs to step it up right now. And if they just put as much work as they can in, I think they'll be fine. But Bloomfield is barely hanging on, but they're still there. They are very present, and Washington needs to acknowledge that.
Well, probably about right.
Now Jenna Johnson's
in a couple minutes, about 2 minutes.
The inbounds pass to Caitlin Davis, who tries to drive in. Emily Butcher prevents this. Carrie Lane with the ball. Back to Caitlin Davis, who now has the ball. Double team by Emily Butcher and Felicity Graff. Jenna Johnson gets a steal. Oh, nice handles. She puts up the shot. It is no good. Sarah Lewis with the rebound. Tries to put it up again. No good. Is now Washington is going to the free throw line. Sarah Lewis. She can put Washington in the lead even more, as she's preparing for first shot, and it looks like Kylie Moody is going to be subbed into the game. Now, Sarah Lewis's first shot was no good. Kylie Moody comes on for Shelby Patton, who may have foul trouble. Now, Sarah Lewis's second shot is up, and it is no good. She has had a little bit of trouble on the night with free throws, so now Bloomfield's ball as they are working around the court. Kylie Moody with the inbounds pass to Maylee Toon. Back to Kylie. To Marissa McIntosh with the three. Oh, air ball, and it looks like it hit Jenna Johnson in the head. And now it looks like a foul is called on Washington after Kylie Moody got the rebound. She got the rebound, and she is fouled by Washington. Now, her first shot is up, and it is good. It is now 33 Washington, 29 Bloomfield here at the Hatchet House. You're listening to the WHSH radio. And we are preparing for her second free throw. And it's up. And it is no good. It is rebounded by Emily Butcher, who puts another shot up. No good. Rebounded by Carrie Lane. Dribbling. Guarded by Felicity Graff and Kylie Moody, who looked like she was trying to kick the ball. But she gives the ball to Jenna Johnson, holding on to the ball. Looking for someone to pass it to. No one's really open. Mackenzie Norton now dribbling with the ball after a good pass by Jenna Johnson, who gives it to Sarah Lewis. She tries to put up the shot. It is no good. And now it looks like it is Bloomfield's ball. Inbounds pass with 2 minutes and 40 seconds here at the Hatchet House. It's 33 to 29, and you are listening to WHSH radio. And Emily Butcher tries to hold on to the ball, but it is stripped by Carrie Lane, who gives it in turn to Jenna Johnson. Back to Sarah Lewis. Guarded by Maylee Toon and Felicity Graff. We're trying to take the ball. She gives it to Jenna Johnson, who's double teamed by Marissa McIntosh and Felicity. And it looks like they are calling either a foul on Jenna Johnson. Is now Bloomfield's ball. 33 to 29. Way too close of a game in my opinion. Now Felicity Graff is driving up the court. Hold on to the ball. It looks like Jenna Johnson's retaliating after getting hit so many times. And now Kylie Moody with a shot, air ball. Emily Butcher gets the rebound, puts it up, another air ball. Maylee Toon gets the rebound, again, puts it up, no good. Foul by Washington. It is now an inbounds pass. Now little shoves are being exchanged down there. It looks like the game is getting a bit rough. And now Melee Toon tries to drive in, puts up the shot. It hits the back of the backboard, but it is no good. This is a foul on second personal on Caitlin Davis. 14th foul for Washington. As Melee Toon's first shot is up, and it is no good. Second shot, we are preparing for her second shot, as it is only 33-29. Melee Toon's shot is up, and it is good. Now, Washington with the rebound to Mackenzie Norton, who's being almost triple teamed, gives the ball to Carrie Lane, tries to throw it up the court to Sarah Lewis, but it is hit out of bounds by Bloomfield, so it is now Carrie Lane is taking the inbounds pass. She gives it to Jenna Johnson, holding on to the ball, crossing up her defenders, and she passes it to Carrie Lane, who gets a shot and is good. It was a very, very good play in my opinion. How about you, Jacob?
It was a very good play. They are looking at making plays. They are playing good defense, guarding the ball well, and that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah, now Carrie Lane with the ball. She's being triple teamed now on their own half, and it looks like it is going to be a jump ball in Washington's possession. So now Carrie Lane is taking the inbounds pass. Emily Butcher comes out of the game as Shelby Patton now comes on. And it looks like Felicity Graff is trying to get into it with Jenna Johnson. In my opinion, that is not very smart, as I've seen her on the soccer field when she's been angry. Now it is Washington's ball, as she is going to the free throw line. It is a 5-point game. Washington in the lead, 35. Bloomfield 30 with 1 minute and 7 seconds left. Jenna Johnson's shot is good. That may be the deciding factor in this game. 36-30.
As there is 1 minute and 7 seconds left to go.
Now Jenna Johnson's second shot is up, and it is good. It is now 37-30. It is a 7-point game. Your live coverage is brought to you by WHSH Radio. And now Butcher in possession of the ball. 50 seconds left in the game. They need a miracle to get in this game. And Felicity Graff drives in, and she is fouled by Carrie Lane, who tries to keep her from scoring, and she goes up for 2 shots. Hopefully none of these sink in, but if it does, anything can happen. Now her first shot is up, and it is no good. And we're preparing for her second shot. And her shot is up. And it is good. It is 31-37. Jenna Johnson with the ball, holding on to it, trying to waste time. She's being double teamed, triple teamed now. She breaks through it. And it looks like a foul on 22, Felicity Graff. Now Johnson is going up to the line, free throw line that is, with 41.8 seconds left in this game. 37-31. Her first shot is up, and it is good. Very nice shot by Jenna. And now we're preparing for her second shot. It's 38-31. And her second shot is up, and it is good. 39-31. Washington is now called a timeout. And as I said earlier, Bloomfield would need a miracle to get back into this game. And from here, it looks like that is going to be very impossible. What do you think, Jacob?
I think that is yeah, they'd have to score 8 points in 41.8 seconds, and I don't think that any of them are Reggie Miller. So I think that it is going to be very difficult for them to get back into this game. But I think that anything is possible, and you have to really you have to be optimistic about it and keep your mind open.
Yeah, and if you look at this game, a lot of the reason it may be close is because Washington or Bloomfield has not been able to sub because they want to keep their starters in because neither have been able to score. So it's been a very, very, very close game. So they have to keep their starters in because they both want to come out of this game with the W, as they both have very good records. Washington 13-4, Bloomfield 14-4. Washington losing to some very good teams such as Jasper, Memorial, and Princeton, best team in the state. And now we're preparing for the Bloomfield inbounds pass. Felicity Graff with the ball. Might get physical in these last dying seconds with less than 35 seconds. Miley Toon puts the two-pointer up, and she's also fouled. So it is 39-33 right now. And if she makes this, it will be 39-34. Very dangerous.
Yes, very dangerous indeed.
Now we're preparing for her one and only shot to see if she can sink this. Her team certainly needs it. And it is up, and it is no good, but rebounded by Bloomfield. Felicity Graff with a shot. She puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Sarah Lewis. 25 seconds left in the game. She's looking for someone to play it to. And it looks like a timeout is called by Washington. Wow, I am not sure how many timeouts a team is given in high school basketball, but it looks like Washington has used nearly all of them.
Well, they're just being precautionary about letting
Bloomfield come back
into the game, most definitely. And I think that any team should be, if you are facing a good team in
high school basketball. And you
yes.
know, it's also kind of dangerous in my opinion to call a timeout, because that lets the players go and talk to their coach for a brief amount of time and let him get his point across on what they should do. So now it is Washington's inbounds pass. The smartest thing for them is to just hold on to it and not let any of their players get hurt. Jenna Johnson with the ball. She is fouled by Kylie Moody, who's looking at the clock, trying to check how much time they have.
And she will go to the free throw line as they are over the limit.
And now Washington with the ball, 39-33. Bloomfield would need 2 free throws to keep them in this game, or excuse me, 2 3-pointers to keep them in this game. Now Jenna Johnson's first shot is up, and it is good. 40-33. Now 7-point game. Timeout, Bloomfield. 21.3 seconds left. It is 40-33. Your Lady Hatchets in the lead with 40 points. Bloomfield Cardinals with 33 points.
Yes, and I'm really looking for Bloomfield to get out of this huddle and really come out and push the ball up the floor and really be trying to push the ball and get some points on the board, as they are down by 7. The game's mostly up, but you never know, and just look for them to keep pushing and competing in this game.
And it looks like this game is over unless something truly magical happens. A 7-point game, they would need 2 3-pointers and a last-second shot to win it, and they'd need a couple steals, as Washington is a very hard team to try and steal it from in the final dying moments of the game. So now Jenna Johnson is going to the free throw line as Washington and Bloomfield return to the court. Jenna Johnson preparing for her first shot. 21.3 seconds left in the game, and now this could only further their lead. Her first shot is up, and it's good. 41-33. Inbounds pass from Bloomfield. Tight defense from Washington. Running down the clock trying to keep them from hitting that vital three that Bloomfield needs. And now Emily Butcher pulls up for three. It is blocked, rebounded by Miley Toon, who puts in 2 points, 7 seconds, under 5 seconds left in the game. And it looks like a foul called on 24, number 24 for Bloomfield. Miley Toon, excuse me. She comes out the game. She is a 5'10" forward for Bloomfield. And now Jenna Johnson with her free throw shot. And it is good. It is now 43-35. This game is over. In a sense, speaking that Bloomfield cannot come back. And now the buzzer beeps. And Kylie Moody tried to pull up for three. No good. Game is over. Washington players just looking happy that they finally got this game over with and got the win.
Stick around for more here on WHSH as we will go to a 30-second break and we will be back for the post-game show here on WHSH.